Let's make sure everything's up and running as we talk a little bit about House of the Dragon. My instant reaction to episode 5. You know, that super exciting episode of people talking. Lots of talking in this one, which I'm okay with. Sometimes you just need to talk it out. You can't actually work it out. You gotta talk it out. Trying to make sure everything is up and running. And yeah, this was an episode of House of the Dragon. Not the greatest episode, but it was an episode. It was an episode, which I'm okay with. After the last episode, you need to calm things down a touch, just a smidge. You need to set up the next series of episodes. You need to make sure that everything is exactly what's going to go next. Where are you going to go next? There we go. I'm trying to pull up some articles as we take a look at this. Trying to make sure I see what's going on. Because the reactions are coming out there. People are looking. People are talking. And I'm trying to figure out exactly where it stands. Because this episode kind of meandered. Kind of went all over the place. It was not exactly... how would you call that? You could have all of the different situations happen in any different order, and it wouldn't necessarily matter. It could happen in any order that you wanted. There would be zero consequences. We still have most of the players in the places that they left off. You have Wahmen attempting to find himself. He's trying to find himself in Harrenhal, and he is not doing a good job. He's been trapped there for about 5 episodes now, and I'm not seeing anything exciting going on there. Let me make sure I have my I got my squids going. I got my own personal squid game in the background. I don't know if you could see. There you go. It's right back there, right over my shoulder. So what we're doing here is we're going to break it down. We're going to take a look. And I'm going to try to remember as much as I can. Because there was no specific... Nothing of consequence. A lot of setup, not a lot of payoff. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. Because after the last episode where you had all that hot dragon action, you got a lot of things that could happen. You got a lot of stuff going on. So we'll check in with Daemon. Daemon is in Harrenhal, the Cursed Hall. Don't know why he's still in the Cursed Hall. He's trying to raise an army. He thinks he's got an opportunity to raise a foot army that they need. He's going to talk to the River Lords, and he thinks he's going to bend them to the knee. And is he going to learn a lesson in diplomacy? Because we finally get his ultimate goal, which I mean, we've known it all along, but did we really know it, that he was going to take King's Landing? Yes, I think we knew he was going to take King's Landing, and then he would invite Rhaenyra there to be his queen because he's not happy. That leads into some fun scenes of him doing it with his mom. Super excited to see that. Let me tell you, the show never ceases to amaze me as I get to see things like Daemon doing it with his mom. Was not prepared for that. I was like, who is this lady? What is she doing? Why is she doing it? Because it's interesting. They've been real timid about the female nudity, but they have not been very timid about the male nudity. They're like, let them schlongs fly. Let them hang out there. It's okay. Let the wangs go. But now, when it comes to female nudity, they're like, let's cover it up. Let's blur it out. We're not going to see anything. I did enjoy some of that. I like what's going on in Harrenhal. I just feel like he's been stuck in that place for too long. And are we going to see it? Will it be his tomb? That's an interesting payoff because he's spending an awful lot of time with that witch. And she is, I think she's nefarious. Will she let him leave that place alive? That's a tough call. That's a tough call. She's definitely got her eyes on him. And I keep thinking he's going to have sex with her, and he doesn't. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. I think. And then, so we also get to see the repercussions of what happened at Rook's Nest. And Rook's Nest has shaken everybody. Now, I wish I'd known a long time ago that there were two big dragons hiding under Dragonstone. I wish I knew they were there. They don't do a great job of setting up the world, like where everything is. You know, if you remember in the original Game of Thrones, you always had a map. And the map would kind of show you where things were happening in the world and where things would be. So when you have, you know, this tapestry thing, in the first season they had this weird blood thing that was bouncing around that was like dripping blood down, and I thought it was okay. But now they have the tapestry thing, and the only time they've changed it was the one time after the young prince lost his head and after the rat catchers got hung. So that's the only time they've changed it, and they haven't updated it, which I think is a miss. I feel like if you're gonna because I keep watching the opening credits, and I keep thinking, oh, maybe something's gonna happen in the opening credits, but it never actually does. So it kind of annoys me that there's nothing going on in the opening credits. There's nothing any different, at least. So I wish it would give us a sense of context and a sense of where we were going, where we've been, where we're going. And I'm not getting that with this. Again, Daemon is spending a lot of time in Harrenhal. Rhaenyra she's been sitting in Dragonstone. So she came back, she left, she came back. So there's not a lot going on there. What I will say that I have a little bit of a bone to pick with this episode was there's a lot of strong whamens. There's like 4 scenes in a row of women talking to each other, and normally I wouldn't really care because it's fine. They have things to say to each other, and yes, one of the queens thinks that she's being usurped by her siblings. But Alicent, there's a whole scene in the small council where Alicent feels like she's been undercut, and I'm like, why does she feel like she's like, I can rule again as the regent, when they're all saying like, no, Aemond needs to be appointed as the regent. He's the one who needs to be in charge. And she's sitting there, and you can sense that she's like boiling over. It's very frustrating to her. But I'm not buying it, because immediately, it's weird. The camera focuses on her, and she's listening to Aemond give commands, and whether he's right or wrong remains to be seen. I don't really care about the small folks who can't feed their kid. Like, that storyline is going nowhere. I don't really care about it that much. But what you have is her sitting there, and instead of doing things that he, like you lost me there, because she's no longer, she's not leading, she's just complaining at this point. And he immediately steps up and starts giving out commands. And I thought that part was great because he's giving commands. And she's just there kind of sitting there stewing and whining. And I thought that was kind of silly. So I didn't really like that part of it. I thought that was a little strange. Because I know she wants power, but I don't think that they're doing a good job of explaining why she wants power. Just like Daemon, he finally admits, like, yeah, I was born wrong. At least we get his motivations. Alicent, it's like you were putting your kids on the throne, and you got the one king who sucked, and now you have a more competent one, and now you're upset that he's on the throne? Like, what are you doing? You didn't want the drunk one on the phone or on the throne. Reminder to everyone, do not drink and dragon, because drinking and dragoning leads you to get cooked in your own armor. I also thought that was a missed opportunity. From what I understand, in the actual book, he is cooked inside of his armor for a year. I could be wrong. I read that from someone else. But when they have him in his armor and they're like peeling it off of him, could have been much gorier for what they've been doing. So I felt that was a miss. And I don't know what the angle is there. You got to remember, I didn't read the books. I mean, I read the Game of Thrones novels, but I have not read the Dance of Dragons, or not Dance of Dragons, whatever, the House of Dragons book. I did not read that one, so I'm not ahead of the curve. I'm only going off of what I'm seeing. The armor, so he gets cooked in his own armor. He gets cooked in the, he has Valerian armor on, which I guess was supposed to protect him, but it did not protect him. So he got cooked inside of his own armor. Did you not watch that part of the episode? It was quite tasty. Are you making fun of my disability? Is that what you're doing? I get what you're doing there. It's cool, man. Not everybody can see. It's all good. Or you can see. It's whatever you choose it to be. You know? Anyway, I didn't, like, I felt, I liked the part, you know, the Macers are doing their best, but I felt like they could have done a little bit of a better job there explaining what, like, how far along. I thought it was cool because they brought him in the litter, and I liked how they brought in the dragon's head, and I thought they were riding the dragon's head. I thought that was cool. And I like the idea that the entire town, you know, the Red Keep thinks it's an ill omen to bring in a dragon's head. Pretty cool concept. You know, they're like, oh, we thought the dragons were goats. And now they get to see a dead dragon, and they're like, you shouldn't have brought a dead dragon's head in here. Not a good idea. I did enjoy that part. And I thought that laid some good ground. Although I still don't understand, again, a couple of strong women talking to each other. You're not going to win the war with gossip, right? I don't see how that happens. That the one girl, what's her, the white onion? No, what is she? The white snake, whatever her name is. I don't see. I know she's supposed to be like Rhaenyra's master of whispers or whatever. I just don't see what her game plan is. She needs to do a little bit more to win me over. And so she has yet to provide a positive strategic strategy that was going to be effective in this entire thing. I'm waiting to see what it is. Not sure it's going to pay off. I don't think that you can win a war off of gossip, right? That does not seem like an effective strategy to win the war. And then, you know, the prince has his own thing going on. It just seems like it's a lot of, let's put everybody in their place so we can set them all up. A little bit of a boring episode. But again, I think it's important. You know, we just had a very feisty, exciting episode. And we need to have a release, right? You need time to reset everything. Where's everybody at? Where's the young prince? Where is he with his dragon? He's trying to get the River Lords to agree with him. And then same with Daemon. He's trying to get the River Lord. Everybody wants the River Lords, and nobody cares about the Starks. And I guess there's a lot of River Lords. And none of them are paying attention to their king. And Harrenhal's in disarray. They need money from the queen. And Daemon's like, I'll pay for it myself. I'm going to fix Harrenhal. I don't understand, after living in Harrenhal for so long, that he doesn't understand that Harrenhal sucks. It's cursed and no one should go to Harrenhal. I don't get that. I feel like that's a thing. You probably shouldn't hang out at Harrenhal because it's terrible. It's just not going to be a good time had by any. Why go there? What's the you know, he's like, I'm gonna put, he's like, are your storehouses ready? Are the kitchens ready? Like, dude, you've seen the same 5 people living in this place, and 3 of them are this guy's kids who are all losers. What are they gonna do? I don't think anybody's got a good plan And then everyone's like, let's get to Harrenhal. Let's go treaty with somebody. Not sure about that. Not going to do that. So my initial reactions, I don't give the episode a great rating. I did like the end. I thought the end was kind of interesting. They vaguely connect the idea of the rivers. I guess, well, obviously, all the bastards, if you did not know, are all named after different regions that they live in. So if you're some sort of bastard, you're going to be either like obviously like Jon Snow, or you're going to be, if you're from the Riverland, you're going to be a Rivers, or you're going to be, I guess, a Stone if you're from the Dragonstone, right? And they had that one guy, which I guess this is a setup, and they're gonna pay it off. They had that one reject in the bar who's like, "Yeah, I can drink, and I'm great, and I like drinking, and it's fun, and I'm a bastard." And then he's gonna show up, and then can they just feed him to a dragon? I mean, that would be I would enjoy that. I think that's the best line for what they need to do is get all the bastards in the lands who are connected to anybody, if they have some sort of Valerian bloodline, or if they should all get them together, and they should keep feeding them the dragon until someone can ride them. Because as they indicated, they have 2 dragons that are these powerful dragons that no one's ever ridden before. And we didn't even know they existed. I didn't know they existed. That there were 2 super powerful dragons. Did you? I did not know that. Even Men's Health is giving recaps of House of the Dragon at this point, and all the acting is great. I think it's all pretty good. I don't know why. Again, it's all the women keep being told like, you can't rule. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do that. First of all, you're the queen. What I don't understand is Rhaenyra is complaining that she's like, oh, you make me sit in here and I'm a dragon rider and I can't ride out with my dragon and go destroy people with my dragon. And you literally just watch the king from the other side do that. He rode out into battle and killed one of your dragons. Why don't you just do the exact same thing? I'm missing that component of this. It's a little strange. It's like this double standard. She's like, if I'd been a boy, they would have thrust a sword into my hand from birth, and I would have known how to use a sword. And it's like, what's stopping you right now from picking up a sword and learning how to use it? Nothing, as far as I'm concerned. And you have a big dragon, so don't know. It's kind of strange. And now, Captain Cole, or the Hand Cole, I don't even know if he's going to be the new Hand, but he finally understands what it takes to win. He's like, I saw men melted inside the suits. I don't understand. This is very strange to me. Yeah, Vagar's power is kind of unmatched. And his quote is, "We have given the war to the dragons. A dragon rider should lead us." Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's see what else. Will Aemon be a good ruler? Alicent doesn't seem to think so, but her previous son was a total scumbag, and he wasn't a good ruler. So what makes you think? I mean, I feel like he'd be better than the drunk one, right? If you have 2 chances, right? That's kind of cool, right? I think you got an upgrade there. I'm just saying, he seems more competent, at least from a military standpoint, if you want to protect the throne, right? And Rhaenyra's children feel much more defined than they did. Ah, yes. Well, it's because they keep dying off, and you have more time to deal with it. Jace, who's barely been in it, is now a master negotiator with the Tullys. If you remember, they're the ones who control the bridge across the river. That's their strategic importance, which is pretty cool. And then Daemon he just keeps making mistakes. A lot of mistakes. And I don't, like, what did he think would happen when he told these guys, like, go do whatever you want, just don't tell them it was us? And then they raised their their banners against them. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. They're going to try to promote the sea snake to the hand. Sure, I thought he was kind of acting like that anyway. He seemed like he was a strong advisor to her, so I don't really get where they're coming from there. And what else? There was. I think the point is that we're putting everybody in different places so we can see where it happens. The one thing I'd be super curious about is, do you guys think? I mean, if you read the book, you can't tell us because that's a spoiler. Do you think Damon is going to make it out of Harrenhal alive? I suspect he's not. And Harrenhal, that place sucks. So I don't see him making it out of it alive. And I feel like he's going to get killed by that witch, maybe. I don't know. It's all interesting. Like I said, you can't. If you're going to take an episode that's so high as episode 4 with all the dragon action, and then you're going to drag it, you're going to have the next part where it's down and it's easily, like we're resetting the pieces for chess. I think they did a pretty respectable job of that. It wasn't as boring. I mean, it was not engaging, but you needed it. You needed to calm down. You needed one of those things. So I thought it was pretty good, and we'll keep watching them. I'm probably gonna do a better analysis maybe later in the week because I'll have read a little bit more. I know that George R.R. Martin has an issue with some of the logos and the dragons and things like that. So I think it'll be interesting how this all shakes out, especially when people are comparing this to the Acolyte, when the Acolyte cost 180 million and this cost 200 million, and people are just like, what? Hey, insult investor, what's going on, man? How you doing? Did you watch Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon? I don't think that's your style. I think you have more important things to do, like repair your many yachts. At this point, do you have a fleet? Can we call you Commandant? That would be my question to you. Because I think at this point we'd have to go with yes. Chillin' and no, he hates it. Not surprised. I mean, I'm not hate watching it. I like it. I don't love it. I think some of the writing's a little on the weak side, but I do like dragons, and I do like dragons burning each other, so that's kind of funny. So at least you're chilling. That's good. I hope you enjoy that. I think I've had enough of being insulted for one night, not by you in particular. You should give us a hot stock tip for the end of our end credits here. But I just thought I'd give everybody an instant reaction just to give my thoughts. Boring episode, but it's still solid because, like I said, you need a big break from the last episode with all the different dragons burning each other. You get to see the aftermath of what happens with the king, and we reset the table as a new king has been crowned, or a new regent. And yes, go with that game stonk. Even though, they did try to sue that guy, and then they immediately dropped their lawsuit, saying that he's trying to manipulate the stock again. So GameStop to me is terrible though, because the actual company, like if you I can't imagine going to a GameStop. Seems like a bad idea. So anyway, that's all I've got. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe if you will. We would greatly appreciate it. We do have a live stream, which we typically try to do 7:30 p.m. Friday nights, Eastern Standard Time. We try to get our act together. I've been me, you've been you, but I'm on to the next one.